Head coach Greg Gattuso, Albany football, as always, in the studio. And one final time, because there's one final game, and that comes up on Saturday against New Hampshire. You can listen to it right here on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. Good morning, Coach.
Gentlemen, you should be careful with final time when you're 3-7. So let's
final time for this season.
Right, a little more accuracy and delivery.
Come on. You're okay, right? You're okay.
I'm just kidding.
And obviously,
coaches all get morbid after.
I'm sure you do.
Me.
I mean,
do things change with coaches in really, is there a change in the coaching staff in a 3-7 season like this that you've noticed with your guys?
Not really.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a little tougher. I think they're just working hard and doing it. My thing is always not overanalyzing, but I've spent the last week really grinding on things we need to work on and fix, and you look for things. Sometimes they're not there. Sometimes things just don't go your way, and I think it's been a little bit of both this year between some Murphy's Law stuff. If we found a way to lose a lot of games, we really felt like we should have won, and we've got to coach better and try to fix some of those. Some of it's fixable, some of it's just health. I think some of it's working a little harder. We're gonna get it done. We feel good. I mean, I feel great where we're at in the sense of the progress we've made with our talent level. Even still, when you see us against Delaware, they're still bigger and longer and stronger than us, but we're closing the gap still. We got to get there, and I think this year was a year that we're getting there.
Defensively, it seemed like we've been pretty consistent most of the season. Pretty good defensively. I mean, you're second in the CAA, and defensively, it's been more of the inconsistency in the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, no doubt. Really, we've struggled on the special teams too in the last 2-3 games.
Because you had a punt blocked.
We had, but even just a punt return, we got pinned in. I mean, they executed the pooch punt to perfection against us almost flawlessly, and we didn't do enough to distract it. They had us. That was part of the problem in the third. We go into the halftime 3-3. We go into fourth quarter 6-3 down,
right, with
a chance, and we get pinned in the third quarter. We were inside our 10-yard line, I think, 3 times. Really difficult, and we can do a better job in some of those areas.
What probably makes you batty, and I don't know who it was. I just will say it wasn't me who did the math and the homework on this but going into the Delaware game, I believe down to the decimal point, like down to the 10th of a point anyway, you guys had identical points scored for and points allowed, and yet here we saw this losing streak. So it's got to make you think everything is even, but like you said, a bounce one way or the other just doesn't go your way.
Yeah, it's where again as coaches, we get a little nuts on trying to. Sometimes things aren't playing, and we've the youth on offense unfortunately is caught up with us a little bit. I think that, but you still go back to 2 overtime games. You miss a field goal in a 12-10 game. A
6-0 loss to a really good Elon team.
Yeah, to a team that's ranked. We're playing another top 15 team this week. The good thing is, I'll talk to the seniors probably Thursday at length about what they've accomplished here. This is we have some guys from the old regime that have been good kids and good players. It's kind of a weird senior group, and then we have some kids that we wish we could have redshirted and didn't. Would you love to have Anthony Manzo Lewis and Malachi Hoskins and Jamal Robinson back next year if they would have redshirted? But ultimately, for 3 out of the 4 years we've been ranked. We've played well. We've beat good teams. There's a lot accomplished by the senior group, and I'll be sad to see them go. Because I think they're good kids.
And then with something that Ashley Miller will touch on in the final coaches show will be the red shirt freshmen that didn't play this year. That hopefully some of them will be able to make some major contributions for you starting next season.
Yeah, and that's where the depth thing. The reason I say where we're at. In our I have to look at things. Record is certainly important and ultimately the most important thing. But when I look at us in the other aspects of what you analyze in the program, this freshman class is going to add a lot to the team. There's a lot of good football players, that are going to help us, and they're going to help in special teams, and they're going to help in areas. This was kind of, I think, the last year where I think our depth from here on should be good. You're always going to have positional issues at 63 scholarship, But our problem is in special teams, especially where you get a couple injuries, and then you don't have anyone to put in, and you're putting some guys in there that probably can't.
Some of these guys are guys, Greg, who could have played for you this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's 5 of them probably I could have played that helped. It's a catch-22. Do you play them and we had to do it with Rocco Marucci and Tyler Tobias. I mean, that's what you've seen in the past. This is the first year, other than really Carl Mofar. He's the only real freshman that's I think played. Everybody else we were able to redshirt. And if EB wouldn't have got hurt,
he didn't have a chance to redshirt Carl.
Yeah, Carl never really had a shot. And EB, I feel good. I mean
that's got to be the headline going into next year, right? EB.
Well,
I mean, he's got 2 years eligibility, right? And he didn't play this year, 1 game, and he's one of the best running backs in the CAA.
Well, last year we were a balanced team. We should have went to the playoffs. Easily could have won 8-9 games. All these different things were positive last year. This year the difference was this group of first year starters. I mean, 8 of the starters on offense are first year starters, and they've got to grow. I'm hoping that's the end of that. You're always going to have at this level first year starters. That's part of it. But I think the good thing is even we're really. I mean Anthony Lewis broke his hand in the last play of the Delaware game, so we won't have him. We're gonna the 2 freshmen will be out there playing the tight end spots, and you just got a group of kids, but they're really progressing. And then next year we have a group of redshirt freshmen in the linebacking core, which immediately translates to having better special teams, is having linebackers and guys like that can help. So I think D-backs and we've got some good talent getting back into the group, and we're going to get some injured people back, but injuries are part of it. You hate that it's targeted our better players, but that's life.
So the most important position on a football team is a quarterback. Where do you stand with the QB spot coming to the end of this year, going into a preseason, and then obviously it'll quickly come around again at the start of another season?
Yeah, I think he's. I got asked that by the guys that are broadcasting the game Saturday, whoever it is, but they asked that exact question,
and that's Will Brunson right now, right?
Yeah, and it is, and he's Will. We have the luxury of a great senior guy that next year that's going to be a backup, and Nevin Sussman, and that's great. But everything's on Will's shoulder at this point, and he. The thing that you see this year, there's a couple things with quarterbacks. One, he understands the offense. He's had some, I would use the word brilliant in some games, and he's had some games where he's been average, and had some games where he's been subpar. And I think consistency is going to be the one thing that he needs to develop. He completely understands the offense and knows what we want. But the second thing that people don't get with quarterbacks is it's his first time taking the beating of a season. And I think some of his issues that when he's not played as well as he has is he's just beat up, and I think we've protected him better the last few weeks. I think he's gotten healthier, but he understands the grind now of what it's going to take going into next year. So, I think we're going to be in great shape. I thought we were going to have a better record this year. I think the defense deserved better, and I think overall, I would have loved to have seen us have a better record for the seniors. But all in all, I think program wise, we're about where we should be, and we need to go out next year and have a great off season and get ourselves ready to go, and that's going to happen.
Well, people around the program have said, you're almost kind of strapped down by your own early success in the CAA. Is it the expectations maybe were a little too lofty going into year number 4 here with you anyway, Greg, based on the success of last year? Look, I don't know how long it takes to grow a program in a new conference, but, we're only talking about year 5 technically, but really when you get to full scholarship year 4 of what you guys are trying to do. Yeah, no,
we really thought we were going to be better. We thought we could build on the year before. But the truth of the matter is, you've heard me say it. The best thing we've done at Albany with football is we've raised expectations. The worst thing we've done at Albany with football is we've raised expectations. When I got here, the first year we were ranked. We won 7 games. We were an onside kick away from possibly going to playoffs in the first year. Great excitement around the program. The second year we stumbled. We lost a lot of people and we're young, and we weren't. That year, even though the records could be very similar, we were not competitive. Last year, I thought we overachieved. I thought we really had a good year. I thought EB came out and became a great player, and then so the expectations rise. I'm all for high expectations. We have them. We're not trying to downplay that we haven't had the record we want. The bottom line is the health of the program is very good. I think the direction of the program is pointed up, and I see the development in our. When you look at us versus 2 years ago, we're a totally different looking physically, and you're seeing the size grow, and it just takes time. Programs can change two ways. You can do it quickly with junior college transfers, and a whole lot of different type transfers. And then you can try to win year to year with new people. When you see that around the country in FCS, I never, ever wanted to do that. We are trying to home grow our kids, and that takes that type of program has sustainability. I want longevity because, as you guys know, I love it here. I'm not trying to win and go somewhere else. And I have the luxury of, I think, a boss who sees the long-term picture of what it takes to build a program the right way, and we just happen to be in a brutal league. It's just not going to happen overnight.
Right.
But we have time. We've done the right things. We're in position. We need to have a good year next year. I mean, that's going to be the pressure on us. Is next year's a big year. We need to go out and have a big year, good year.
And speaking of good, New Hampshire's good. They just beat Elon, and they're one of the top teams again this year in the CAA. What can we expect out of the matchup with New Hampshire on Saturday, 1:00 kick at Casey Stadium? That's next with Coach Gattuso on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio.